This would be episode 156 for you guys today. With my co-hosts Rob Sarasulo and Fred Harris joining, we'll go ahead and get today's episode started.
What's good, Tom?
What's up, Fred?
How you been, brother?
Good. How about yourself?
Good.
Yeah, ready to get this episode going, man. We're going to talk about our thoughts of the playoffs, man. It's been some crazy stuff going on.
Has it? Has it?
Has been some crazy stuff.
Thought I was about to have to freeball this. My laptop was not working for a hot minute. I didn't know what was going on. I just got it working.
Saw that game one starts tonight for the Celtics and Pacers.
Right? I think the magical run for the Pacers might be over.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that, but I definitely agree with you on that one.
Never mind. The laptop is still broken.
Damn.
Hey, we freeballing it. We good.
All right, we're waiting for Rob to get in here, then we'll go ahead and get started.
My brother's going to say he ready, and then still take 10 minutes to get in.
Yeah. I'm going to text again saying you ready. Oh, there he is. I'm going to have to ask him a question right after bat about the Knicks. He's going to be upset when we start.
You know what he is. I got to grab something real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, you good? What's up, Rob?
Hello. How goes it?
Good, man. We were just talking about a little basketball real quick, but I'm going to ask you the ultimate question when we start.
No, you don't. You don't want to ask me that. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, brother, the good runs always have to come to the end.
I mean,
Y'all had a run. Y'all had a run. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We didn't have.
Had a run.
Y'all did.
We had like 7 players.
So you gotta. I mean, what team plays with more than 8 players in the playoffs?
Bro,
the Pacers.
we had.
Pacers still use their whole lineup, but other than the Pacers,
4 of our. It was like 4 starters were gone.
That's true. That's facts.
Like, and then Brunson broke his hand in the last game.
Yeah. Brunson also needs he definitely needs a Robin.
Yeah, he does. I mean, Julius Randle can be his Robin.
And third option.
Bro, I promise you, if Julius Randle comes back next year and y'all start losing, they're gonna treat him the same way they treated Melo when he came back with Jeremy Lin. You know,
I don't know.
when Jeremy Lin had that when Jeremy Lin had that little miraculous run, and then Melo came back, and then y'all started losing. Everybody was like, "Melo, shit, get him out of here." And they're gonna do the exact same thing to Julius Randle when he come back, and y'all start losing. Well, I'm not gonna say y'all gonna start losing when he come back, but if he do come back and y'all start losing, they're gonna try to get him the fuck up out of there.
I mean, when we had our roster at full strength with Randall, OG, and Brunson and everybody, we went 11-1. That was the only.
Well, y'all had Randall and OG at the same time. Well, I know, like obviously
In January.
I didn't know.
In January,
I thought
when we were
was hurt.
In January, we were unstoppable with all of them. Literally unstoppable. We were going absolutely crazy. But you know, yeah, it's just, it sucks. But hey, the Pacers probably don't stand a chance anyway. So we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and get started now. All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyre from Onthehop Podcast. Today, this is going to be episode 156 for you guys. Today, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Fred Harris and Rob Sarasulo. So we'll go ahead and get today's episode started. So we're going to be sharing our thoughts on the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. We're going to be sharing our predictions for those series. First off, though, Rob, I know we got a little glimpse of what you were saying, but what are your thoughts on a depleted Knicks team coming up short to this Indiana Pacers team last round?
I mean, we fought a good fight with what we had, man. I mean, I still think they should have beat them regardless, but I mean, I don't think a team in the world could have beat them in that game 7 because they shot literally better than anyone ever has in the last 25 years. I mean, it was just unfortunate what happened.
That also
They
comes down to defense as well. But
yes, also that, we had no interior defense that game. But
also the transition defense wasn't very good either.
no.
But the Pacers
But I
do
mean,
like to push, so
yeah, that's what they were good at. But like I was watching that game obviously, and like even when we were playing defense and they were taking contested jumpers, they were just going in.
they were.
Like it didn't matter. Like
They were.
Yeah.
They
they
were
were
getting
making
shots.
they were making everything, bro. They shot like 80% until like the third quarter. Like it was crazy as shit. Like, in that point, it was already out of hand. So, like, at one point we did make like a valiant effort. Like we brought it to within like 5 or 7, and then they just started smacking them joints again. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It was a good fight. It was fun to watch. But, I feel like we're definitely up there in terms of teams in the East for the next couple of years. I think as long as we,
How much you got
make the right
Brunson?
moves,
You got Brunson.
yeah, as long as we have him, he's about to we're gonna re-sign him probably this offseason to a big contract. Well, we can sign him for like 4 years, 160 million or 156 million, or if he waits a year, we can sign him to a supermax for 5 years, 250 million. Whatever he wants, he deserves whatever the hell he wants. He can have it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The way he played this postseason, incredible. But anyways, it is what it is, and just got to regroup. And like Fred said, he needs a Robin. Like
Mhm.
I still personally, I still believe in Randall. He's made a couple of All NBA teams. He's a walking 25 point, 10 rebound power forward. So like you don't get much of those. So I think they need more depth. I think they need another big man. I think they should ship out Mitchell Robinson. I mean, as much as I like Mitchell Robinson, I think they should just find him a new home because he is never healthy. So, yeah.
That's true.
Sign OG, of course, too. Yes, that as well.
Yeah. I just want to give a quick shout out to Jalen Brunson. I mean, obviously we know how good Jalen Brunson is. He showed it. But for you to get picked up 94 feet for literally 2 series straight, every single game, because the Sixers were doing it too. The mental toughness that you had to go through, because, I mean, the Sixers had Kelly Oubre picking him up 94 feet, and then the Pacers had, I can't think of what his name is, but he was getting picked up 94 feet for damn near, like, 8 games straight. So the mental toughness that you need to get hounded on defense, knowing that, I mean, you have scoring options, but they're not really creating their own shot scoring options. Like, you kind of have to create for them. So he's basically running the whole offense, getting picked up 94 feet, getting absolutely hounded every time he touches the ball, and still being able to get damn near 35 and 8 every game. Like, that's greatness right there. That's greatness. And honestly, as much as, I hate Rob, I actually wanted to see the Knicks win the championship. Like, they had, like, probably, I know this is the next topic, but I think they had one of the best stories. I mean, obviously I like some of the younger teams, but they had, like, one of the best stories to me personally.
Hmm.
That's true. That's true.
I think they were this season's not Rockets, Raptors.
Yeah,
That's what it felt
I
like.
can see that. I definitely see that.
Julius Randle 25 for 10 until he gets into. I mean,
I
there is.
mean, let's be real here. Like the first time he got in the playoffs, it was the very first time we made the playoffs in a long time, and he was the only one there. He had him and Derrick Rose. That was
Yeah.
it. We
I,
had,
I
and
know how much
before
you love Julius Randle, but I feel like every like seventh or eighth game in the season, he's like the worst NBA player ever. Like every once in a while, he'll come out and be like the absolute worst player I've ever seen in my entire life,
you're right. When he's lackadaisical and playing lazy, you
and
know,
still like chucking that bitch, missing shots. He just don't care. I'm like,
Brunson was the best thing to happen to him, man, because he like once he came in there, like he kind of got right. Like he was hooping like when they were together, like and like the second time that the second time he made the postseason with Brunson, like he was.
Oh, his voice went. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, my dad was calling me. I literally told him I was on the podcast,
Ooh.
but yeah, no, he. I don't think he's had really. I think he deserves another chance to see what he can do, and then if he stinks it up again, then you know what, what
RJ.
about R.J. Barrett, Alec Burke? Well, Barrett was probably one of the most inefficient players I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
There's a reason why he's out of New
he's
York.
gone.
I can't sit. I can't.
I'm honestly, it was sad to see Quickly go, but he was going to demand a big contract this year, so I'm not too upset. And Burks, he was actually hooping the last couple games. Like the game 7, he shot like 80%, had like 25 points.
He did
He
show up offensively. I will
he
say that.
was
yeah, but
good.
how reliable is Alec Burke?
He
No,
do.
I mean
Yeah.
he's a bench player. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
he,
you're right. You're right.
he's not supposed to be crazy, but I mean, he was pretty good. I mean, I was watching him and he stepped up when he needed to in a big moment. So,
100%.
I would like to see him return as a bench piece, but I don't know if he will or not. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I will say though, Rob, I think y'all do have a bright future. I think next year, healthy, I think it's going to be very interesting how you guys match up against the other top teams in the Eastern Conference. But I like your guys' chances making it out of the East next year and competing for sure when you guys are fully healthy.
Hmm.
Randall is not the best in the postseason. We,
I
yeah.
literally just talked about that. What are you talking about?
But let's get into this. We'll go with the Eastern Conference first, and then again the Western Conference Finals. So Eastern Conference Finals, you have the number 1 seed Celtics taking on the number 6 seed Pacers. I think we're all going to have the same answer for this one. Who do y'all have winning this series?
The Celtics. The Pacers had a good run, brother. The Pacers had a good run,
Yeah.
but I think the Celtics is a little too much for them to handle. I didn't think the Pacers were going to make it this far, but they did. They looked good. Um, I even said back in the Bucks series that they weren't going far if Tyrese Halliburton didn't shoot the ball. Like him getting like 12 assists and 12 points, that shit not going to fly.
No.
He got to make shots, and they maybe eat my words. That's what he started doing.
Hmm.
I think though that the Celtics are just they're too big, too athletic. It's over. It's over. I think Drew Holiday gonna shut all that shit down.
Yeah.
Drew
Yeah.
Holiday, Drew Holiday's different on defense. He ain't
Hmm.
going. He ain't rocking with none of that. So I mean, if they can stop, if they can stop if they can run with the Pacers, it's over. It's over. The only thing is you got to do it for 4. You got to win 4 games. So you got to run with the Pacers for 4 games, which is a lot. I don't know how they got the energy to do it, but they can run with them. It's over for them. I don't
Yeah.
think that their half court offense can. I don't think it's not surviving.
They don't have the defense defense to contain Celtics at all. I mean, for us, it's like we had one main option. The Celtics have several. Like, they have Jason Tatum. They have Jaylen Brown. They might have Kristaps when he comes back. I'm not really sure if he
The
comes
one
back.
dude, he's been balling.
Derek
Derek
White.
White. Yeah,
Yeah,
Derek White's
yeah.
been
He's tough.
balling.
He's tough. Also, he's tough.
Their
And
their team is so stacked. I'm
it's
not gonna lie to you. Their team is so
not
stacked.
fair. It's not fair. Like they
It's
have
so
one of the
stacked.
best teams. If you look at some of their stats, they have one of the best teams like of all time. Like one of the best
There's
seasons of all time. I should put. But
like if you put Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps on the field, like any of them can go for 25.
This is facts.
Any,
Yeah.
someone can go for 30 and 40. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's cooked. It is cooked. It's rare for them to all be cold at the exact same time. It's rare for the offense just. I mean, it's happened, but it's rare. I don't think the Pacers defense can make that happen either, unless they just have a slow shooting night, lose too long in the club.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Pacers might get away with one win because the Celtics tend to play down to their opponents sometimes. I've
Yes,
seen
yes,
for
yeah.
I,
several years, but if they as long as they play to their potential, there should be no problem getting these guys out of town. So I think it max 5 games. I mean, that's all I'm giving them is 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
hold on a minute.
Yeah, Rob, I agree with that because I feel like the Celtics are going to put away the Pacers in a matter of 5 games. I think this is what a healthy New York Knicks team would have did to the Pacers. But I just feel like the Celtics are the much better team all around. They have better players, like you guys just talked about. They're a better defensive team, better depth, just better overall. And the Pacers are really lucky to get this far at this point because they played a banged-up Bucks team that had a banged-up Giannis, a banged-up Damian Lillard, then a Knicks team that just completely fell apart as the series went on, not healthy at all. But I feel like the Celtics defensively are going to contain Tyrese Halliburton because, Fred, you said Tyrese Halliburton, he is a guy, one of the point guards that does get his teammates involved. He does average a lot of assists. But in the playoffs, he's only averaged 18 points per game, and they're going to need much more production from him. But I feel like the defense of Drew Holiday and Derek White are going to be too much for him to handle in this series. So I like them winning in 5. But there's one thing I will say about the Celtics. If they don't win it all this year, I'm going to call them the San Francisco 49ers of the NBA. Because you know how
Facts.
the 49ers always get so close to winning it all the time with stacked teams. And it's like the Celtics year in and year out. And they get all the way to the conference finals, to the championship. They never can finish. So if they don't win it all this year, I'm going to call them the San Francisco 49ers of the NBA. And if they definitely don't win it the way how it's playing out right now, I feel like Tatum and Brown are never going to win a title together. I just feel like they have to do it this year. They have to.
You remember that
Mm-hmm.
You remember that video with Jaylen Brown and what's her name? And
Oh, he lied.
Jaylen Brown said he was going to win what, like 5 rings or whatever.
Oh
Shit.
yeah.
That shit ain't happen.
He might have been to 5 conference finals at this point, but damn, shit, I need a ring. Yo, hold on. They've been to Tatum and Brown. I think this is their 5th. Yeah, this is their 5th conference finals together, and and you have 0 rings. And this is
3 of them, Braun kind of stood in the way. I ain't gonna lie to you. Was it 2 or 3 of them?
I thought it was this. Hold on. No, Brown was only in. Hold on. I think he was only in what was that? The 2018 series.
I thought it was the 2017 as well. The 2017 and 2018.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
It was 2 times. So that's even worse. You only had to see a vintage LeBron twice. So I definitely feel.
And I mean, when he left, that's when they started going to the chip. I mean, I guess the Raptors one year as well.
Yeah, but then the Miami Heat were blocking them. They got there in the one time they beat us in 2022 in the conference finals. But yeah, you gotta break. If they can't win it all this year, you gotta break them up because What's Jaylen Brown's contract? Isn't it like worth $300 million?
Something like it's big. It's fat. It's fat.
When Tatum's contract comes around, he's gonna want the same amount. So he's gonna
He
pay
gonna
600.
want even more than that. He gonna want way more than that.
So he gonna pay over $600 million for two players that, oh yeah, conference finals, here we come. No, you don't get you NBA finals, here we come. You don't win it. I ain't paying that. Over $600 million for two players that have been there
But
several times.
so, do you let Jason Tatum walk? Because you already gave Jaylen Brown his money.
I can't let him walk. We're gonna have to do a sign trade. I can't let you walk. You're too valuable. I can't let
There's
you.
I'm
no
not
way
gonna get
I'd
him.
let Jason Tatum leave my team. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I mean, you already paid Jaylen Brown. So what do you do? I don't think. I mean, I could see that happening. I just don't think the Celtics are gonna give up both of them. I think they'll flip that whole team before they give up Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're running out of chances. I mean, they're like a cat with 9 lives. You can only
How
keep
old
getting.
is Jason Tatum?
I want to
He's not
say.
that old.
He's like
I don't think he's.
27.
Oh, he's
He's
27.
got he's got plenty of time left. He's not
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he can win a championship one day, but I just feel like you will keep doing this with Brown. Maybe that's not the tag team duo you need to win a championship.
They are very, very similar players. So I mean, it is a little.
One goes off, one fades away, vice versa.
So I don't know.
This next series is going to be good in the Western Conference, though. The number 3 seed Timberwolves versus the Mavericks. Who y'all got winning this series?
Man, hey, I can look you in your face and tell you I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, Luka and Kyrie right now, my goodness, especially Kyrie. That boy, not only, I mean, we already know what Kyrie can do on the offensive side of the ball, otherworldly. But when he's starting to sit down on defense, oh, man, it's raps for y'all.
It's
It's
a little
raps.
underrated. His defense has become a little
It's
underrated.
raps. It's raps. And I ain't gonna lie to you, God be my witness. I seen Luka do it a little bit too.
Yeah.
Somehow,
When he gets mad, I'll say when he gets
when
mad,
he
I
gets
seen
mad,
Luka
mad
do it
and
a little bit
motivated,
too.
mad and motivated.
He still sit on offense when he don't got the ball in his hand. He still sit in that little wing corner spot that he loved being
Yeah.
at on the offensive side. When he ain't got the ball in his hand, he got to sit there and watch the offense go around. But I seen it. If he get a little bit more defense in there,
Potential.
it might be
Yeah,
scary. It might be scary.
I will
that's true.
say, I will say, if it's anybody that can play defense better than anyone, it's the Timberwolves.
Yeah, yeah.
They
And
have
the
clamps.
only,
Holy
yeah.
shit!
I think Anthony Edwards is an underrated defender, but he ain't locking up Luka or Kyrie. Jaden McDaniels on the other hand, but I mean that's only one dude.
They
I
have.
mean obviously team defense, but if they get an ISO or like Mike Conley or Anthony Edwards, that's food.
I mean, no one's guarding Anthony Edwards either
Facts,
on the Mavs
facts,
at all.
facts,
Like
Yeah.
the way
facts,
he's been playing,
facts.
they stormed back down 20 against the former champs. I
Yes.
I think the Wolves win in 7 games. I think it'll go to 7 games, but I think the Wolves take it. I personally.
Could. But
I
like I
think,
said, this can go any type of way. Like I have no clue who's gonna win this series.
but besides the Knicks, of course, this is my favorite run of the playoffs. The Timberwolves. They've had an absolutely insane run. I mean,
Yeah.
they have been so good. And I was talking about this before the playoffs started. Like they had a very good defense, and that's going to play a big role.
You did
And
say that on the podcast.
look where we're at now. Like, I still don't believe in Gobert. I still don't fully believe in Cat, but
It's
their
crazy
team
that
defense though is just relentless. They
how
made Jamal
you
Murray throw a heating pad.
yeah. How is Gobert defensive player of the year and every time Jokic see him in the paint, he saw food?
Mm.
I
I
don't
that's
understand that.
That's one thing that I just like don't buy into and just hate seeing year in and year out. Is that
Like
man an all NBA defensive?
he like in the paint, he is otherworldly. But like at the same time, there's no reason if the defensive player of the year should like they're looking to switch Jokic on to Gobert and get him a one-on-one with Gobert. It's crazy. That not my defensive player of the year.
So I got a quick question before I say my prediction. Since we talk about Rudy Gobert's defense, he's a 4-time defensive player of the year. Do you think he'll go down as one of the greatest defensive players of all time in NBA history?
No.
You think he's too overrated to get that accolade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I think he's overrated as hell. Yeah, he's tall. Yeah, he can block shots, but I have seen that man get dunked on so many times.
I mean, getting dunked on happens when you play a lot of
Yeah,
defense. I mean, how many
I get it.
game winners has Paul George caught to the face? Same with Jimmy Butler. No
I,
shade,
I,
Tom.
I know Jimmy's got some
No,
face.
no.
Dick, but
That man PG is perennial, like just year in and year out trash when it comes to the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
he,
So I mean, like
he was like
these guys play defense, but like
they were talking about the Knicks trading for Paul George. I no,
bro.
I don't want
The
him.
thing is, though, I love Paul George, man. His game is so smooth.
It's smooth, but in the playoff, he don't play. He always hurt,
Yeah.
and he's 34. He's
dang,
old. So
that's age is catching up to him.
that's crazy to say. You know, it feels like he hasn't been
Right?
in the league that long, but
Yeah. I mean, young man with the Pacers
Mm-hmm.
booming on Braun.
oh, he was crazy on the Pacers.
That's
He was
facts.
crazy on the Thunder too.
Yeah,
He was ridiculous on the Thunder.
yeah.
He was almost an MVP on the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
That is facts too. But back to this Nuggets and Timberwolves series. I agree with what Rob said. I got the Timberwolves in 7. I do think it's going to be a fun back and forth series. I feel like the Timberwolves have the advantage over the Mavericks because they went 3-1 against them in the regular season. But I just feel like this is the Timberwolves' time. I mean, they, like Rob said, they overcame a big deficit in Game 7 in hostile territory in Denver. A hard place to win in the playoffs, as we saw last year in the playoffs. But I just feel like the Timberwolves just have more, and I feel like there's a defensive matchup that I wanted to talk about since we were talking about that. I like the Timberwolves matching up defensively against the Mavericks, but I got one barbecue chicken alert during this series. Karl Anthony Towns versus PJ Washington. I'm telling you, look out for that matchup. Because when the Timberwolves played the Hornets, when PJ Washington was on there before he got traded to the Mavericks early in the season, that was a game where Karl Anthony Towns scored 62 points, 8 rebounds, and shot 10 for 15 from 3-point range when they played the Hornets early in the season. That's barbecue chicken throughout the whole entire series.
Damn,
He's been,
I didn't even realize it was on that man. That's crazy.
yeah, because I was thinking of matchups. I was like, wait a minute, PJ Washington was on there when they played the Hornets, and he was guarding them for a good chunk of that game. So I think that's definitely gonna be a matchup to look out for.
He too small for him. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Jokic, I mean, Cat is kind of a body. It's just that when he goes up against other bodies, it just don't work out like that. Kind of like Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam is nice. When he goes up against another body, he kind of disappears.
yeah, but I was thinking because Karl Anthony Towns is like you could rely on Anthony Edwards, but Karl Anthony Towns is kind of like he's like kind of in the middle. He could go off and then he could fade away. But this is definitely a series I definitely trust him in. PJ Washington's gonna be on barbecue chicken alert. I can definitely see it for this series. I don't know how often. He's not going to obviously score 62 points in this series and things like that, but he's definitely going to help Anthony Edwards a lot, I think, offensively for this series. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavericks win, though. I like these 50-50 matchups in the West.
I do. This is a wonderful matchup. I hope this goes to 7. The only thing I would say I don't want it to go to 7 is because I think the Celtics are going to fucking destroy the Pacers. Sorry for cussing. And I don't want a fresh Celtics team going up against like a tired Mavs or Timberwolves team.
Yeah, man. I just feel like it's the East for the playoffs, man. Compared to the West, Like that's why I said last week that the Celtics haven't been tested really this whole postseason at all. Like you played a banged up Cavs team and a banged up Heat team. You're not getting tested like these teams out in the West. So whoever makes it out is definitely going to be ready for the NBA Finals, though.
Yeah, someone said the Celtics played the Bad News Bears.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The entire series, excluding Game 5, Jokic shot. Yeah, there has been times in the series where they did find Gobert and the Timberwolves did find ways to shut down Jokic and Murray, but after Game 2, they started figuring it out offensively. I mean, not the way that maybe a lot of people would have liked, but they did eventually start figuring out the Timberwolves defense as the series went on. That was actually a weird series now you think about it. It was like wasn't it like 5 out of 7 games of the series blowouts of them going back
Yeah,
and
like
forth?
the one
Yeah.
game where the Nuggets scored 70 points the whole game.
That was
Pretty sure like all the games were blowouts except for Game 7, weren't they? I feel like every single game was a blowout.
one more game was a little close, but eventually, I think somebody won by double digits. But it was a weird series
Yeah.
until Game 7, where that was probably the best game in that series.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep it going with the NBA playoffs. What were your guys' favorite playoff runs in NBA history? I got a few. I guess we could say, because I have one for a team that didn't win it all. We could say teams that had good runs, teams that had dominant runs, teams that just like you couldn't stop at all. I guess we can name a couple of teams for this.
Well, Fred, I'm
I
sure
already
I know what Fred's going to say. So
Yeah, I don't even know
might as well
what I
go
said.
ahead.
Ha. Ha. What was it? Was it the 2020 Warriors? 21? No, 21 we were shit. I think it was the 2019-2020 Warriors. We just I think we were like 16-1 or some shit like that. It was absolutely stupid.
What year was that? Where y'all won it all?
Yeah, we won it all. I'm pretty sure we swept Braun in the finals. I think
That was
I think that
2017, 2018. Yeah,
was
because
it.
the Raptors won in 2019.
Yeah, they did win 2019. No, yeah, okay.
But I get what
Yeah,
you're saying. Yeah, that was a good run from y'all.
absolutely. Probably one of the most dominant playoff runs of all time. I mean, we lost one game in the playoffs.
That was sick, bro. That was real sick.
Nasty work.
Mm-hmm.
That was real sick. Man, I felt like that was one of the biggest cheese moments in NBA history. I know you ain't gonna say it, but
What?
No, I say it. That team was absolute bullshit. I wouldn't have wanted to play that fucking team. Fuck that.
And then during the time, y'all tried to add DeMarcus Cousins, but then he eventually fell. Can you imagine if a healthy DeMarcus Cousins was on that team, bro? That would have not been fair.
No.
That was the one thing that they didn't really have. Like, I mean, the best center that they really had that was consistent was Bogut.
Yeah.
For that team, like that dynasty. I mean, Bogut. I mean, and Bogut obviously isn't crazy. He was no. I'm not disrespecting Bogut at all.
No.
He was
You're not
good.
going to disrespect my man's Kevon Looney. Is what you're not ready
Bogut
to do.
was better than Looney.
What about JaVale McGee, Fred?
Bogut, come on, Fred.
Stop.
Bogut
Don't say that shit, Tom.
Bogut was definitely better than Looney. Looney was decent, but
I think Bogut was
better.
a better scoring option, but Looney was a better center. He got way more rebounds and he played way better defense.
Really?
Yeah.
Defense, I would say defense.
Yeah.
Bro.
The center was just basically out there to get boards, though, because everybody was just scoring. And Draymond,
our last championship, Kevon Looney averaged like 18 rebounds. Dude was getting boards out the ass.
Yeah.
He would get like 10 offensive boards a game. Get
the board and your best scorers get a head start down the court. KD, Steph, and Clay. Bro, that's all right. Here, I'm gonna ask y'all this. I know we gotta keep going with the segments, but I just gotta ask y'all. All right, the '96 Bulls versus the 2017 Warriors. Who wins this 7-game series? I just gotta ask y'all that.
Come on now, stop it.
Warriors.
Yeah. Come on.
I don't have it. I just wanted to see what y'all would say.
Who got KD? Scotty? Stop it.
Oh, but Scotty was a good little defender though.
Scotty was 6'7",
The point
210
guard on
pounds.
I don't even remember what was the point guard on the Bulls. He's barbecue chicken.
Yeah, barbecue chicken.
That
Barbecue chicken.
yeah.
I mean,
And
obviously nobody's stopping Mike.
no,
Obviously.
no.
Yeah, no.
Clay is barbecue chicken to Mike
Yeah,
for sure.
easy.
And
Anybody did. Even if it's like
honestly,
easier,
Robin
anybody's
that
barbecue chicken.
could make a difference
honestly,
though.
KD isn't really strapping Scotty like that. They're just going to trade buckets. But I mean, Steph is dropping 50 a game. Steph's dropping 50 a game against that Bulls team.
There might be
Without a
a couple
doubt.
fights though between Dennis Rodman and Draymond Green.
And when
A couple of
Facts.
games for the
Steve
Facts.
Kerr comes in,
Oh,
oh yeah.
oh,
Steve Kerr comes in,
oh, oh.
he had
Yeah,
no defense.
yeah,
None.
yeah,
Oh
That
my God.
would be a crazy series though.
yeah. He
The Warriors
Curry is seeing
game.
food every time.
Yeah, Curry would probably have the best run, like best series we've ever seen against that team, which is wild to say, but it's true.
Who is the center again for the Bulls? I'm drawing a
I got it right here, I think. Hold on.
Ron Harper. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Ron Harper is Ron Harper's food.
Oh, crazy.
Ron Harper's food.
Yeah. Yeah, he's dropping 50. He's absolutely giving him buckets out the ass. He is not guarding him 40 feet away from the basket.
No. Fuck no.
But one of my favorites, I kind of mentioned it earlier, was the Raptors run. You know,
They played the bad news Bears too. Fuck.
I know, but like, to come out with that was just, it was cool to see, that type of team win it all. No one thought that they would win it all. And just like the run they had from the bounce three that bounced off the top of the rim and in, and
That was cheese.
Obviously the Warriors had a couple of major injuries, but either way, it was still an awesome series to watch, and that was definitely one of my favorites. The one where the Heat, what year was that when Ray Allen hit that shot
Oh
against the
my God.
Spurs?
That was 2012-2013 season.
That was
And
one of my favorites too. That was one of my favorites. I remember watching that game. That was just awesome. Obviously, the Heat and the Spurs were always there, like year in and year out for those last couple of years. But that year in particular just felt different. Like it was just awesome. That shit was cool. But,
I mean, obviously, another one of my favorites is definitely that 2011 one with Dirk. I mean,
come on, man. Why you?
I'm sorry, but JJ Barea was the Braun stopper.
I already told you
Barea.
what's going on, man. His mama was getting hit up. He couldn't focus.
Yeah, all right. And JJ Barea was hitting him up on the court too. He was locking that shit up. But yeah, I mean, seeing Dirk just absolutely go to work, looking unstoppable, game in, game out.
He did, yeah.
Masterclass. I love me some Dirk.
I got two ones, and then I'll talk about the one Rob had because I was just reminiscing on that. First one I got, that 2001 Lakers championship run, that was absolutely insane. Because when you look back at what Kobe and Shaq did in the 2001 playoffs, they destroyed everyone in their path to the playoffs. They went 15-1 the postseason. They defeated 4 teams that had 50 wins during the NBA regular season that year. And those were some talented teams. I mean, they defeated the Portland Trailblazers that had Scottie Pippen, Tim Duncan, and David Robinson for the Spurs, and Allen Iverson, of course, in the finals that was a part of the Philadelphia 76ers team. So that was a dominant run what Kobe and Shaq did together. I think that has to go down as one of the most dominant year they ever had together. They did a lot of damage together, but that one in particular, that was crazy what they did in the postseason. The other one I have is I'm sorry, I gotta put it there, but The Miami Heat playoff run last year, to me, that was so good. It was just so sad that we couldn't finish, though. Because that was the perfect, like, Cinderella story. Like, as an eighth seed, having to play in 2 play-in tournament games, and you having to play the number 1 seed. You knock out the number 1 seed Bucks, then the Knicks, then the 2nd seed Celtics, and then you just come up short to a much better talented team than the Nuggets. I think anybody would have lost to them last year in the finals, but that run in particular of what Jimmy Butler and company were doing, that was a good run for sure.
Mm-hmm. I do got a quick question from Mans in the comments though. Do you think Luke Longley is doing anything, getting pulled out 35 feet from the basket, having to switch on the screen and stuff? Because I don't. First off, I don't even think Luke Longley coming out there. I'm not gonna lie to you. He might make a business decision and stay his ass around the free throw line, and he gonna get burnt up. Regardless if he switch or if he hedge, he getting burnt up.
Mm-hmm.
So
No chance.
no chance. Also, Tom, since you said it, I'll say it. I hate it, but it was great.
What's
The
that?
3-1. The 3-1.
Oh, I was just about to say that one. That
Was
was
that
crazy.
the 16 Cavs?
And that was the last playoff series before the league went cheese because a month later they got Kevin Durant. That was crazy though.
Yeah. I'll never forget when y'all started texting me right after the game. Y'all started blowing the chat up.
Yo, I'll never forget that interview. LeBron came there with sunglasses. Oh my gosh. I did not think that was gonna happen though, but that faded. I still remember.
Now you glazing.
I remember
Move on.
to this day. The final 60 seconds of Game 7 to this day, especially that Kyrie fadeaway shot he hit on Curry. I'm sorry, but that was.
Do you remember everybody in JD's living room, Tom?
Everybody saying "fuck Steph Curry" at the chant. Yo, that was crazy. Yo, actually, I think that game and the Heat game that Rob said, Game 6, probably the craziest like playoff endings I ever saw of our generation, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like came down to the final moments and things like that. But Rob, I like the Heat one though because that run they went through a gauntlet to get there, and so did the Spurs that year too. But the Heat definitely were battle tested a lot. Even though they did have a super team, they were still a lot of good teams all around in the East that year. And I feel like Ray Allen kind of saved LeBron's legacy because if that shot ain't go in, I don't know if LeBron would have 4 rings right now. Probably 3.
It definitely look a little scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's kind of crazy because that team was ridiculous.
It was loaded.
That team was
LeBron,
absolutely loaded.
Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. I ain't count Mario Chalmers. That man was just a decoy. You need somebody to control the offense.
He could shoot. He could shoot the 3 ball.
Yeah. Don't disrespect my man's Mario Chalmers, man.
He was
nice. He wasn't bad.
I would say
he definitely wasn't
much.
like that. But I mean, he definitely running the offense.
Shane Battier, definitely a player to look back at.
What?
That man was great. Mike Miller,
knockdown.
Yeah, that man had the
knockdown.
That man had the apps. He couldn't play no defense, but he had the ratchet.
Pretty sure. What's that for the Warriors and Bulls matchup?
Yeah.
Oh.
3 transcendent versatile defenders.
I was leaving that one to y'all. I really don't know who would win in 7 series.
Mike and Scotty. Who the fuck's the third one? Hope you're talking about Ron Harper.
Probably Dennis Rodman.
Oh yeah, my fault. Dennis Rodman. Yeah. I completely forgot about Dennis Rodman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for sure there was some crazy moments in the playoffs. Rodman, yeah, that's why I figured he was talking about that. Well,
KD's still cooking them too.
Yeah.
He's cooking Rodman and he's cooking Pippen.
Nah, facts. Cooking. And there's nobody in the league who could stop KD.
At that time,
7-footer,
still to this day, you can't really stop him.
has handles.
Right.
Has the
Do like
ability.
36. Still can't stop him.
No.
But back then, no. LeBron couldn't even slow. I mean, LeBron really ain't known for defense, but he couldn't even attempt to slow him down. One of the best defenders in the 90s.
I mean, you also didn't have people shooting from 40 feet away in the 90s. Not
You
like
also didn't have point guards scoring. I mean, there was obviously scoring point guards, but it wasn't like today.
it was a different game. It was more of a physical game.
Facts.
A game of you better have your lunch money ready because they come in to pick your pockets and get physical with you.
Definitely coming to get your pocket.
But we'll go ahead and move to the next segment. I gotta get your guys' thoughts on this one. Which players had the greatest NBA rookie seasons in NBA history?
All right. Everybody talking about Wemby, right? Wemby had a wonderful NBA season. Wait, how old is Wemby?
I don't believe he's 21 yet. I'll look. I don't
like
believe he's 20.
19 or 20.
Is he?
I think.
He's 20. He's 20. He had an absolute remarkable NBA season. But I mean, that boy Braun was 18. Straight out of high school. At least Wemby played professional overseas. This dude came out of high school and was, I mean, he wasn't dominant, but he was a very, very good player. So like, I don't see a better NBA rookie season. I mean, obviously the numbers don't match up with Wemby's, but like, his rookie season was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't, especially because, well, obviously the Spurs are a bad team too, but I couldn't name one person on that motherfucking Cavs team.
No.
They were all ass.
Got there though.
They were
all
terrible.
ass.
So,
oh my God.
And didn't he took that team to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Bro, that wasn't fair when they. Are you talking about 2007 when they matched up against the Spurs? That was not fair. Hey, now look, I know people get criticized for getting swept, but that you couldn't do nothing. That was not fair.
What was he supposed to do?
There was nothing. You couldn't. There was no way he was beating the.
He had a bunch of
bad
janitors on his team.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Bro.
Absolutely crazy.
Time. This is. I don't even. I feel like stupid for even mentioning this season. Like it he was playing a bunch of like small dudes in the damn 1959 season. But that man Will.
Yeah, I need to talk about Will.
Oh, I knew it.
That man Will averaged almost 38 a game, 27 rebounds a game.
Damn.
What is that, bro?
That's not
bro
fair.
Yeah,
Bro was playing against a younger rec league team.
Let me just
he was playing against guys who had day jobs. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Another one, Shaq.
Yeah.
On the mat.
Yeah, yes.
Jeez. He was a dog, and he was fast on the Magic. He could run. Like
he pushed.
He was
the break on the Magic.
He was my favorite version of Shaq to use in like 2K, just because of how fast he is. Like
that's probably the fastest he ever was in the league.
Yeah, he's also the skinniest he ever was too.
I was just about to say the same thing. That I ain't going.
He beefed up on the Lakers,
but
yeah, he was an absolute demon on the Magic. Like he was cheese.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, his rookie season was really good.
Yeah.
His running mate David Robinson.
Yeah, I think Tim Duncan might be one of the most underrated players ever.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite power forwards of all time.
He's probably the best power forward of all time. Ain't no problem.
One of them. It's between him and KG, probably.
No,
You think he's better than KG?
It's Tim Duncan. It's Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Raised power. I probably agree with you for that.
I
Just
think the
because
only
of
reason
his,
people don't look at Tim Duncan as like one of the best is because his team was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I
But
mean he was the focal point
all,
though. He
Yeah,
was
all
the
that
main
basically was
source.
coaching, though. I feel like all that were based off of Greg's coaching that created them to be who they were.
I mean Tony Parker was a dog.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
was.
Tony Parker
He was.
was an absolute dog. So was Manu.
Ginobili
Manu
too.
was a dog.
Yeah, they all were good, but
I
the
mean,
coaching like really helped them to become like what they were and to win the
yeah.
championships and things like that.
I mean, yeah. You also have David Robinson too.
Trial and tribulations for black players, and we know the trial and tribulations in the fit. We talking about the competition. Competition wise, it wasn't playing. He was not playing nobody.
What is this dude talking about?
But we're not talking about the race or anything. We don't do that here. But we're talking about like the physical competition that they played over the years at that time frame.
Yeah, they had 9-5s before they stepped on the court, and it was just unfair,
Yeah.
completely unfair.
Just right off brother's stats, he talking about the trials and tribulations. Brother averaged almost 38 points and 27 rebounds. Like, that's not amazing. He talking about some trials and tribulations.
I got two though. Y'all said some good ones, but I got this the one I I really think this might be the best rookie season of all time. Michael Jordan's rookie season, 84-85. That man was kind of going crazy for being the rookie in the league. He averaged 28 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. It did take him some time to finally go on 2 separate three-peats later on in his NBA
Yeah,
career.
didn't he get swept in the first round his rookie season?
Yeah, I do believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Hmm.
But regardless of that, though, averaging 28 points per game, that's crazy as a rookie, especially for
Mm-hmm.
somebody that came from North Carolina. He was the 3rd overall pick in that draft. And not too long ago, he didn't spend too much time in college, but not too long ago, he was cut from his high school team. So to come that far and average 28 points per game in your rookie season, I thought that was pretty remarkable for him. But I like Rob's though, because I was gonna say Tim Duncan also from the 97-98 series. He averaged 21 points per game, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, shot the ball 54% from the field. Yeah, I like what you said though, Rob, because he teamed up with David Robinson, and then went on to win a championship with him 2 years later to help himself become one of the greatest power forwards of all time. So definitely that. I think that really was the stepping stone early for Tim Duncan his rookie season, and then to become an all-time great like he did. Especially, I think he won that. Yeah, he won that first ring with David Robinson before Manu and Tony Parker got there, because he got his 4 others with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty huge too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there has been some crazy ones. LeBron, I was gonna mention LeBron's too, Fred. It's actually been
It is
a lot
pretty
of
generic, but I mean, we've never seen a player come out of high school and actually be good, like stepping onto the court.
Yeah.
yeah.
First game stepping onto the court. We've never seen anything like that.
When did they stop doing that? Letting play, because I know Dwight Howard come straight out of high school also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
didn't Lou
like
Will come straight out of high school too?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was when we were in high school
Oh, that's when they
ourselves.
stopped it.
I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago. Like, you know, Larry Bird is one too. Larry Bird's rookie season was really good. He averaged 21 and 10, and he shot 40% from 3, and that was the first year that they put the 3-point line. So
That is true. That is true.
1979 to 1980. Will really. Yeah. Bro, not,
Rob can't read his cut his hair. He be like an old man.
bro, I'm sorry. It's
Wait, what happened? Let me see.
Nah, Rob had to read out loud.
I was reading it.
I mean, some names, yeah, but I still think overall the competition was not elite at all.
It was
I ain't gonna lie to you.
nowhere near what it
Yeah,
was
I ain't
nowhere
gonna lie
near
to
what
you.
it is today, or even in like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, where the game picked up when Kareem and Magic and all those cats were.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, other than Bill Russell on this list, ain't none of them dudes Wilt Chamberlain.
Bill
I
Russell.
mean,
Yeah,
they're great. Like they're like Bob Pettit, George Mikan, Nate Thurman was defensively amazing. I mean, offense he wasn't there, but Will Reed. I mean, they're good players, but other than Bill Russell, ain't none of them dudes fucking Wilt Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go ahead and move on to the final segment. Switch gears from basketball to football. We're gonna share our most underrated NFL players of all time. I got 3 players on my list. Who do you guys believe are some of the most underrated NFL players of all time?
Brandon Cooks is one that comes like a more recent one that comes to mind. I mean,
Oh, hold on, Fred. Hey, the Cowboys one ain't underrated, I would say.
bro,
But
he's not good now, but like, you know, he was.
I mean,
I feel
yeah,
he had like a run where he had how many
I think it was
seasons of 1,000
like
yards?
7 or 8, like
Yeah,
1,000
yeah,
yards. But he was just barely cracking 1,000. He wasn't getting like 11, 12.
I know, but
He was
dude,
like
he
dude,
was
that
1,000,
underrated.
was pretty
35.
crazy.
No, it is. It definitely is. It definitely is.
He had better stats than Julian Edelman. I mean, I have a comparison right here. I mean, people lauded him, and they had played a similar amount of games, and he had like a couple more receptions, like 2,000 more yards, almost 2,000 more yards, like 13 more touchdowns. Like I feel like that's a good comparison to him. I guess, a better sleeper would be Navarro Bowman. Um,
Mm,
he was overlooked because Patrick Willis, but that man was an absolute demon.
yeah,
Any
Yeah.
other any other team, if he would have been like the A1 option on defense.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
The only thing I can say to that is it's a lot easier playing next to a great linebacker like Patrick Willis. It just makes the game come a little bit easier, makes your job a little bit easier because everybody's worried about Patrick Willis.
yeah. I mean,
So,
but Navarro Bowman was not far. I don't think he was that far behind Patrick Willis. I mean, he was pretty damn good. He was pretty damn good.
dog, if
Uh,
Patrick Willis didn't, quit because of that toe, he might have been going down as one of the best linebackers like of all time.
I still think
I don't think
he's
you
not the
can.
best, but he's up there still,
I don't
who,
think.
Patrick
even with
Willis?
that.
Yeah,
Oh, if he had more time, I think he could have went down as one of the best linebackers of all time.
right.
Him and Luke Kuechly also could have
Yeah,
definitely went.
yeah,
Luke
100%.
Kuechly is probably my favorite middle linebacker ever.
That
He was an
man was insane.
absolute like dog. No one could pre-diagnose at the snap better than him.
That's true.
He knew what you were doing every
It was
play. It
nasty.
didn't matter.
Yeah, that film study does come in handy.
Didn't he
He
retire
was so freaking
before he was
smart.
30?
Something like that.
He retired early, which I was very surprised
Hey,
when he
that
retired.
that losing do something to you.
Hmm
I was literally about to say the same thing. You didn't have to play for just Carolina, you know. You could have always requested a trade. They probably would have gotten a lot for him if he did
Mm-hmm.
request a trade. Probably a couple for at least 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rob, I like that Brandon Cooks one because his first few years when he played with the Saints, he had Drew Brees. The Patriots, he had Tom Brady, and then the Rams, he had Jared Goff. But the man was pretty consistent for a long. If he still had that same speed, I mean, I know you can't have the same speed forever, but if he had that speed that he had coming out of Oregon State to this day, that man would be an absolute machine running routes still on the field. But
hmm
and he played for a lot of teams consistently going for 1,000 yards too, which is pretty. I give him credit for that also.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how the Saints then utilized. I mean, they utilized him, but when you think about it, the offense had Drew Brees, they had Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, Jimmy Graham. I
They had
feel
Marquise Colston back then.
they had who?
Marquise Colston.
They had him too. Yeah,
He was pretty good too.
I mean,
I don't know how they didn't get to a Super Bowl with that offense. And Sean Payton calling plays. Well, Sean Payton before he got to the Broncos, but
Ooh, I got one. And you'll like this one too, Fred. Anquan Bolden.
dang,
Dog.
that was a good
Anquan
Dog.
one.
Bolden.
That was
Anquan
actually one of mine too. I
Bolden.
ain't gonna lie to you. That was definitely one of mine. I was
He
definitely
was
pulling that out
so
the
good.
hat.
He wasn't like, he didn't have the speed, but
Nope.
he
Bro, if
was
his
never
hands got on
dropping
that
the
ball,
ball.
it was over.
Never dropping the ball.
If his hands got on that ball, it was over.
It was
He was
good.
coming down with that thing.
Yeah, really good possessive receiver. Really good. Yeah, it was a big body actually too.
Definitely was a
Mm,
big body. Definitely was a big body.
yeah.
I got another wide receiver. Obviously he's an amazing player. I think everybody thinks he's an amazing player, but I think he might be one of the greats. And that's Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chad Ochocinco was
Mhm.
absolutely ridiculous. Underrated route running.
Yes.
Footwork was ridiculous.
Oh
It's
yeah.
true.
One of the
Did y'all hear
best.
diet for games too? The man would eat Pop-Tarts, McDonald's breakfast, and the man was still out there killing it. Like, how do you do that as an NFL player and run the routes and consistently score and get your team yardage? I think that's a player that definitely should have. I mean, trades, asking for trades in sports now are more popular than ever. That's somebody that should have asked out of Cincinnati. Even though he had Carson Palmer at the time, he definitely should have went to a contending team before his prime years ended.
Yeah. Well, sometimes loyalty's not all that good.
See, that's the
Mhm.
problem. But that era of football, a lot of people should have just requested a trade to get a chip. Larry Fitzgerald also, he was a little too loyal to the Cardinals
Yeah.
now.
But I mean, like guys like that, like Larry Fitzgerald can go to Arizona and get whatever the fuck he wants to.
Free meals
Yeah.
for life. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean that's something that comes with, I mean, you already rich, so do you really need it? So I'm
that's true.
gonna take that chip. But I mean, the love from the fans, like people like that, especially like the older generation, they respect that. And I mean, however your morals go.
That's
Mhm.
true when you think about that, actually.
Mm.
Oh, I got one for my first one. Randall Cunningham, yo. Randall Cunningham was so underrated. That man would be nasty in today's NFL with how a lot of offenses have RPO, offensive schemes.
Yes.
I think he would be up there in the conversation for best dual threat quarterbacks with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts right now in the NFL right now. Because the man, Randall Cunningham, had an incredible arm. He was electrifying in open space. And I just feel like he stood out being different from the other quarterbacks of the 90s because the 90s just had a lot of pocket passers of Brett Favre, Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, all of them back in the day. But I think Randall Cunningham, I think he played 10 seasons, only 10 seasons. If he just had more time, I think he would have definitely been labelized more as a two-time Pro Bowler in the NFL. But he definitely would thrive in today's NFL for sure. I got this one's actually crazy. Yo, y'all remember how good Chris Johnson was for the Titans?
Mhm.
Man.
Chris
CJ2K?
Johnson, man, Chris
That man
Johnson
was
for the
cheesing
Titans.
Madden.
Before
What?
before a great running back and Derrick Henry came to Tennessee, that man Chris Johnson was putting it on for the Titans because I think he was one of the best running backs in the early 2000s, and he was a good running back, a physical runner, a good effective player in the passing game. And he's
Mhm.
on that elite list of running backs to rush for 2,000 yards in an NFL season, but I don't think he's ever going to get inducted to the Hall of Fame, unfortunately. But that's crazy how good Chris Johnson was years ago. I got one more too. My last one, Percy Harvin, man. That man, crazy good.
Mm.
A
That's a
lot of
good one.
people, a lot of people like to say how, I mean, Debo was good that year. What was it, 21, 22 season? Man, you want to use a wide receiver as a running back / wide receiver. Percy Harvin was the player to do it.
Oh
And
yeah.
he was just an absolute different beast. It sucks because injuries hurt players as their careers goes on. I feel like that's the case for what happened to Percy Harvin. But when he was healthy, he was one of the best players on the field. Dangerous player in open space when he got the ball in his hands. You could use him as a gadget player, a running back, wide receiver, however you want to use him in the offense. And he was a pretty good kick returner also. Definitely had a good amount of kick returns also. He's known for his best days in college, though, but with the Gators. But he definitely was a difference maker in the NFL when he was healthy.
Yeah.
Dude, another one that I just thought of on defense, Jared Allen.
Oh my gosh,
That
yeah.
man was absolute dog.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second. Like, who the fuck is Jared? Yeah, nah, dude was nasty.
He was so good. He was so
Nasty.
good.
He was a difference maker on the defensive line for the Vikings. Dang. We actually watched a lot of good players play when you actually sit down and think about it, but they just didn't get like the recognition. Well, I would say he's gonna go down as a Hall of Famer though, but I say Eli was pretty underrated for most of his careers because he was other than those two. Hold on, Fred. Hold on. I'm a Cowboys fan. I gotta say the man was underrated. Yo, Fred, calm down, Fred. Calm down, Fred.
Bro, playoff Eli was like that. Come on.
Yo, you don't beat the GOAT 2 times in the Super Bowl by accident and clutch it. I just gotta call a spade a spade. Why do you think he's not underrated?
We don't have
Man,
to talk
I feel
about the
like,
regular season, man. Come
huh?
on. We don't have to talk about the regular season,
Okay.
man. Come on.
Those two
I
playoffs.
just think that like
It
those
was
last
similar to
years,
Joe Flacco, man.
those last years, I know Joe Flacco ain't that good in the regular season. Playoff, when the playoffs come, dog for no damn reason. In the regular season, the only thing is just like Joe Flacco. In those last couple years, it got spooky.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Eli's
Dude.
fall off was pretty bad. But
Bro, he had like no offensive line though. He couldn't move, so like he would just get blasted. Like he had no chance. Like we had like Eric Flowers playing left tackle. Like
he was lucky he got
that,
Odell, because without Odell, goodness gracious.
mm-hmm.
It was that yacht picture. After the yacht picture, that was the end of Eli, man.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
up. It was up. Like I don't know if you can be a great and like fall off that damn hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I had to throw him in there because I mean he didn't have the best track record for regular season, but the two separate playoff runs that he had, and I don't know how identical that is. You do that. I mean, the David Tyree catch. I think that's the greatest catch in NFL history. But then you do it again 4 years later in the Super Bowl, and then who did he hit on that?
Mario Manningham.
Mario Manningham, yeah.
It's great. I haven't heard that name in ages.
That was like one of the best throws I've ever seen.
Complete rando.
That throw was that throw was so crazy.
But yeah, that was actually that David Tyree. I would say that best catch I've ever seen. But that throw was one of the best throws I've ever seen.
He did break like 2 or 3 tackles.
Yeah,
and just like launched that bitch.
Right on the money too. He put it right on the money.
Yeah, it hit him right in the head.
No, that Manningham throw, like he couldn't have put it in a better spot.
Yeah, that one was a good throw also.
Yeah.
And as a defensive back, you can't even do nothing. You just gotta give the quarterback the props for that one because whoever was defending him that play did whatever they could, but it just wasn't enough. Yeah. Okay, said facts, Rob.
I think another great who was obviously he was good and people recognize him to be like a really good player, but I think that it's still underwhelming how we talk about him, and it pains me to even say this, but we've seen him for so many years, killed us for so many years. But Ben Roethlisberger, just absolute dog, absolute dogs. I mean, again, those last couple years, it got pretty spooky.
Rob called him an easy bake oven. I said he's an easy bake oven out there. No mobility to him.
Yeah, but back then, he never really had. He could move a little bit, but he was never really like the mobile guy. He was just that tree stump that just never moved off the ground, no matter how you hit him or how hard you hit him. Dude was just planted in the ground and
He
would
was
shrug
such a
off.
big dude.
Such a big. I don't know how many times I've seen the exact play where he shrugs off 2 or 3 Ravens, rolls out to the right, and just bombs it down to Antonio Brown for a fucking touchdown against us.
And when he rolls out, he's just jogging. He's literally not even running. He's just
not even that shit is a light trot. That's what that shit is. Just jogs, and Antonio Brown's just wide open down the field somewhere.
This is true.
Another guy is Antonio Brown. I think people don't talk about him because of all the extracurricular stuff that he does now. But to me, top 5.
What's up, Kurt?
All right. Pause on the whole conversation real quick. I just had to hop in here because I'm on my little 15-minute break type shit. Anyways, fuck Ben Roethlisberger. He wasn't that mobile. So we should have been sacked every fucking time. And I'm tired. I just wanted him to retire.
I'm with you 100%. Fuck Ben Roethlisberger. Sideways. Fuck him.
Yeah, that's all I had to say, brothers. That's all I had to say, man. But, yeah. So, I'll see y'all.
Bye, Kurt.
Oh, I got a good one since we're on the topic of quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers was definitely. Now, if you take away the he had a lot of turnovers.
He did have a lot of turnovers.
That man,
he had a lot of turnovers.
But I was saying, like having the Chargers compete for a while when they were a contending team at times. I still don't know how that 2010 Chargers team, they were ranked number 1 offensively, ranked number 1 defensively, never won a Super Bowl. But I will say the way how Phillip Rivers played, he definitely is underrated to me. Just somebody that can never. I think the problem was he was in the AFC for so long playing when you had Tom Brady and Peyton Manning that lived there basically their whole careers.
Yeah,
it was rough. That was the problem with him. Oh, and Big Ben was there too. There was actually a lot of good quarterbacks in the AFC at the time, but I think that was his problem. Just too many guys just a little bit better than him at the time in the conference.
Yeah, it was not Curtis Facts. I couldn't wait for his ass to retire. All respect because the dude was amazing, but fuck that dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Ben, easy bait.
Oh man, the last year he played, I'll never forget his whole entire game plan was to throw to Najee Harris at the line of scrimmage.
Hike, throw it. Well, I don't know if you guys remember that Cardinals and Steelers Super Bowl. That last touchdown that Ben Roethlisberger threw. I don't know.
Antonio Holmes.
Yeah, the San Antonio Holmes. Absolute
the tiptoe grab.
Yeah.
One of the nastiest shits I've ever seen in my entire life.
That man fell off the planet too. What did he do after that?
That's a good sleeper too, San Antonio Holmes.
Low key. That's
a good one.
Because for years they just produced wide receiver after wide receiver for a long time.
Yeah, like that shit was crazy.
I remember Emmanuel Sanders being there too.
Yeah. Same with Mike Wallace.
I was about to say Mike Wallace.
And then AB came.
Jacoby Jones for a year or two.
He was on the Steelers?
No.
Oh.
I wasn't saying.
Yeah.
No,
he was definitely a dog for like 2 years in the Ravens. Definitely a dog.
That fell off. Happened, but
he on that Super Bowl run, he saved our ass like twice.
Mm-hmm.
That Denver game, was he the one who made that catch?
Yeah, he was the one who made that catch.
Yeah, he bailed y'all out with that one.
109 yards.
Super Bowl, he the one who brought that kickback in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, he did do that too.
Yards.
Jeez. Bro, watching that, I was so mad at him taking that bitch out because like he caught it and just like sat there for like half a second and then took off. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, made 2 niggas miss." He was gone. Yeah. Yeah, his fall off was real bad. This shit was bad. Oh, a guy we did not, Devin Hester.
Oh,
He's
yes.
the best return man ever that lived.
Another guy whose fall off was, I mean, it gets rough in the NFL, but that fall off was, oh, that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad.
I agree with Rob. That's probably the best returner in NFL history.
There's no one close. There's no one
Yeah.
close.
Nah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one dude on the what was his name on the Chiefs? The human joystick.
Oh,
What was his name?
um,
I can't freaking remember what his name was. Damn.
You said on the Chiefs?
yeah.
Yeah. He
Was
What the fuck?
had one of
it,
the craziest jukes I've ever seen in my
was
life.
it Anthony Thomas?
No, before that. Way before
Oh,
that.
before that.
I don't know. I can't remember, but that guy.
Dante Hall. It was Dante Hall.
Yes. Oh my God.
Dante
He was
Hall.
such
Oh,
a dog.
I remember him.
He
I
was
do
such
remember him.
a demon.
Hey, same with Cordero Patterson. Mr. Heavy Stomp,
Mm-hmm.
the original Heavy Stomp before Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
man, it was high stepping every time he got the ball.
Yes.
Knees up.
another guy just like Debo and Percy Harvin, who just like was that wide receiver, running back combo. I mean, he was really
Mm-hmm.
never like both. He was kind of either or.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a running back, wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner. He was an athlete. That's what he was. He was an athlete.
I agree with that one for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. That is all the time we have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, Fred Harris, and Rob Sarasudo signing out. Thank you guys for watching, listening, and we'll see you guys on next week's episode.
Peace.